Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think you've been involved in some conversations, discussions with people, and when you bring arguments and you try to use logic and fact-based evidence and historical evidence to support your claims and all that, and then all of a sudden one of your people that you discuss, debaters, they start attacking you personally. So they get involved in ad hominem attacks instead of discussing the issue that you were discussing, and that was the reason. And that should tell you that person is just a weasel, lost the argument, the intellectual argument, and gets engaged in character assassination, or in petty kindergarten style conversation. You should not engage in that, or if you feel strong enough, start calling that person names, and then the whole thing is just going to escalate to something, or just the whole thing is going to disintegrate. It's you have the option of ignoring or going all the way in it. It's up to you. Now, we have here an article that exemplifies how people talk about policies and about, serious things, and other people, instead of debating the issue at hand, they try to destroy the policy based, or you, based on some details that don't have anything to do with the issue at hand. So this article comes from Sputnik, and it's from today, and today is the 15th of October 2022. Why do I use Sputnik? I use Sputnik because it gives me the other side of many things that we do not hear from the free corporate media in the West. And I can't just use Ukrainska Pravda or the New Voice of Ukraine or Reuters or BBC, because they're all weasels, including these ones. But that's the way, this is the people we deal with. So we have to, like you go in a dark alley at midnight and that's a lot of shit on the ground, and you just try to just avoid it and hop around to cross the alley to go on the other side, knowing that's poop on the ground and you have to avoid it. So the poop is the articles, but we have to get on the other side and you have to maneuver through this garbage without getting our shoes dirty and stinky. So yeah, it's garbage from Sputnik, garbage from New Voice of Ukraine, garbage from Reuters, garbage from BBC. Why? Because they have interest, they have agendas, all right? And we have to figure that out. And after a while you figure out who's who, what's what. So in this case, I'm using Sputnik because you're going to talk about this issue. And this issue is about a German minister who was slammed over quote-unquote Nazi wonder weapon remark on Kiev arms supply. So this guy was making a reference to the German Wunderwaffe, wonder weapon, that the Germans were trying to get so they can win the war, when it was obvious that they would not be able. They were in the cords, and rope doping and whatever, they were losing. And they said, well, we're going to design a Wunderwaffe, wonder weapon, and we're gonna destroy the enemy. Okay, yeah. So we started with V-1, V-2, and they started with what was that name? The first jet, 262, I think it was, the first fighter jet that they put over there, Messerschmitt 262. I think it was 262, but 261, 264, I think 62. Anyway, so Wunderwaffen, and those cannons that would just be on the other side of the English Channel, shooting straight to wherever over the channel, the same Wunderwaffen. But anyway, so this guy makes a comment saying we're going to supply the Ukrainians with tanks, Leopard tanks, like that's going to be the Wunderwaffe. That's going to make the Ukrainians win the war or something against Russia. Oh my God, you can't say that. And instead of saying, no, if we give them tanks, we'll give you Ukraine tanks, not Ukraine, ours because they're involved over there. We're going to put tanks on the ground over there. We might be winning. That would have been an argument. But no, the weasels, instead of saying that, say, oh my God, you're a Nazi because you used that analogy. What the fuck? And you're an idiot because that's what you are. How about that? So let's go. In September, the German Defense Ministry said it does not plan to deliver its battle tanks to Kiev. Russia has repeatedly cautioned the US and its allies against provoking Kiev with more weapons, which the Kremlin says may further escalate the Ukraine conflict as Moscow continues its special military operation in the country. Alright, so Germany's Minister for Special Affairs, Wolfgang Schmidt, has come under fire. So this guy, Wolfgang Schmidt, not Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, no, Schmidt, has come under fire from a hawkish Bundestag member over his vision of Berlin's recent move not to provide Kiev with German battle tanks, according to a German news outlet NTV. Speaking at the government gathering earlier this week, Schmidt upheld the position of the German government so far on the matter, comparing calls for the supply of the Leopard 2 tanks to Kiev with Nazi Germany's desperate hopes that its long-range V-2 ballistic missiles, also known as Wunderwaffe, Wonder Weapon, would have helped them win World War II. So he makes the analogy, he said, well, even if we put our tanks over there, we can't win this war, because it's much more, and those guys were going to use anything possible. But we're going to be more destruction. That's his argument. And he said, that's going to help us as that's going to help them as V-2 helped the Germany in the Second World War, or V-1, V-2. And instead of the guys arguing against that, they called him whatever. So, and I'm quoting this Wolfgang Schmidt. Sometimes I'm tempted to call it the German V-2 syndrome, Schmidt claimed, insisting that there is no wonder weapon that might swiftly put an end to Ukraine conflict. And then we have Marie, this is the woman, Marie Agnes Strack-Zimmermann. Tells you everything when they have it like this. Chairwoman of the Bundestag Defense Committee and member of the Liberal Free Democratic Party, communist, move on, was quickly to balk at Schmidt, saying that she collegially urges him to deepen his knowledge of weapons a little bit, because she knows everything. After he does so, he will quickly realize the fact that the comparison with Nazi weapons is not only completely inappropriate, but simply wrong, she argued. So wait a second, she says here that, so she tells him that he should deepen his knowledge. Okay, that's a good advice. That means go and read, get more information. Okay, that's it's an attack that basically she called him dumb. Or, uninformed. Okay, you can do that. That's not nice, but at least, you attack me personally, obviously. But that's your opinion. That's good. But then to say, after he does so after he gets knowledgeable, since he's an idiot, he doesn't know, he's dumb, he quickly realized the fact that the comparison with Nazi weapons is not only completely inappropriate. Hey, that's a moral assessment here. Inappropriate versus true. It's two different things. Appropriate is like you should not tell the truth, or you should tell the truth. Well, he's telling the truth. He makes an analogy based on his experience or his knowledge. And you attack him for what? Exactly. Is it true what he said? Makes sense? I think it makes. But instead of arguing that, because that's right, and she attacks him, that's inappropriate. Shut up. Go and read more about what? Being a nice guy. Alright, but simply wrong. Okay, tell me, why is it wrong? You always say, why is it wrong, Zimmermann? And maybe she says, the remarks came after German Defense Minister Christine Lambrecht made it clear last month that Berlin's new batch of weapons to Ukraine, including Mars 2 multiple rocket launchers and Dingo armored vehicles, will not include the battle tanks that Kiev requested. They will be there. Just wait a little bit. They just prepare us for that. So then we have here that Russia rips west over its arms supplies to Ukraine. No, United States, and we have Zakharova, we have Shoigu, and we have what's his name, Lavrov, and they talk about it's a red line if you cross it, if you send the new batch of long-range missiles that are going to be able to hit Crimea. This is what they're going to send, the Americans. They're going to put on the field. I'm not going to talk about Ukraine as being Ukraine. No, it's the United States using those guys to destroy and destabilize Russia. That's what it is. So these guys are saying it's a red line, red line. And they say if they were going to supply Ukraine with these weapons, that's crossing a red line. Then what? I mean, you say it's a red line, and then is what? Are they going to be active participants on this war? They've been since 2014. That's been the war already. What are you talking about? And what are you going to do about it when you designate them as an active participant? What are you going to do? Are you going to attack them? What are you going to do? This is always talking. Okay, I don't give a fuck what you say. Let's move on. I'm just going to continue robbing you. Oh, okay, that's not right. Okay, I'm going to rob you. I'm going to take your wealth. I'm going to take everything. You do something about it? No. Then why do we even bother to talk about the red lines? And now they give us a little bit of background here. The world's first long-range guided ballistic missiles, the V-2, was developed during the Second World War in West Germany, in Nazi Germany, as a vengeance weapon. The weapon was designated to attack Allies cities as retaliation to the anti-Hitler coalition in bombing of Germany. And they were not efficient, just so you know. So when they say, oh, Coventry, oh, London, oh, okay, there are some historians who say, well, actually, there was not efficient at all. Why? Because they were going and hitting just to create terror, that's all. And actually, the Brits, with their spirit, they said, yeah, okay, they dug their heels in the ground more and more and more. So that was a counterproductive move. But, well, you do what you can do and assess the results after a while. So yes, that Zimmerman continues to be an idiot. She probably wants to be, she's like 3,000 years old. She's a mommy already. She's a dinosaur. But she probably thinks that she's going to somehow get some political support. She's a communist. When you hear about social democrats or something like that, okay, all right, yeah, thank you very much. We know what you are. We have another one, a social, you know that one? All right, the socialist little one. So, Wunderwaffe, will they do it? They will put on the ground anything that would just drain Russia. And Russia is gonna, as they say, we're gonna just kill each and every Ukrainian, and then what? You're gonna have to put your troops, will you? Because Russia has 140 million people. Ukraine probably has right now 20 million people, since I don't know how many are on the front and how many left the country. So from 40 that I think Ukraine was, probably so they can't muster more troops. And eventually it's going to be about that. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.